guys? Welcome back to another video. That plane that you just saw fly over was one of many planes that fly over all the time because my road that I live on is lined right up with McGuire Air Force Base. And if you want to see more videos like that of me just plane spotting, like this video and it will happen. But the real reason why I'm making this video, if you've seen from the title, is I am doing an official office tour. I got like kind of into it in this other video a while back, like a couple weeks ago. Now I really want to get into it and show you a full-fledged tour of the office. I think it's really cool. It's the best office I've had yet out of the two. So without further ado, let's head inside and go check it out. Alright guys, so now we're inside now. I want to put like pads on the wall, like make it less echoey because you can kind of still hear the echo. But yeah, so one thing I really like about this office is all the windows that surround 3 sides of the room. 4 sides just like the rest of the house. So the first thing I could probably go off with is the desk. Alright guys, so here's the desk that I do most of my schoolwork on now that we're in quarantine, hence the name of the quarantine series. But yeah, if you see this is a project I'm currently working on. I'm making a Boeing 737 out of cardboard and paper. So yeah, like you can still see a little bit of paper that's out, and then some other schoolwork that we're working on. So yeah, so let's go a little closer to the desk, and we got a bunch of Killington maps that you probably remember from a little while back with the Vermont vlogs. Got this picture of a C-17 that flew over. We'll get to more of these kind of pictures in a little bit because I have an entire wall filled with planes that flew over my house. We have this puzzle where it's like one of those things where it takes a lot of thought, but it's actually pretty easy. It's actually easier than I thought it was. Picture of me and my grandfather, and a C-17 that flew over relatively not too long ago. And my old phone case, and like I said, the 737. It's actually coming along really good. It's pretty solid right now. I'm actually really proud of how it's looking so far. The Finono aviator sunglasses that I used to wear in LBIPW days, me and my grandmother. The speaker that I use from time to time. So I have some old pictures right here of some other planes that are on that wall that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. So that one, and this, I'm going to say it's like a foam. It's made out of foam. It's a space shuttle model. It was pretty cool when I got it. It's a nice decoration. And then my favorite thing out of everything on this desk would have to be the model F4 Phantom. This is my favorite Air Force airplane of all time. I just love the way the wings go up and the horizontal stabilizers go down like that. It's a really beautiful plane. I've seen a few of these in person, and I actually have 3 of these models. So yeah, and also I really like the view of outside the window, a lot of green. Yeah, now that we're done that, let's move on to the next thing. Alright, now I could say for myself that the rest of this office is relatively clean, but the only thing that is truly hectic is this shelf. And this shelf was basically stayed intact from the original office, but I moved it into here. So if you see on the left, you can see both the Reaper masks from LBIPW. I'm very sentimental, so I always keep a lot of LBIPW stuff. A few of my hats that I wear, so you got the AJ Styles hat from a really long time ago. Got that from a pro wrestler. And the one down there is a Baltimore Ravens hat. So, yeah, we have more Killington maps. A picture of a F4 Corsair. Really amazing plane. Got this, if you guys are a fan of Overwatch, got the Lego Bastion that can form into his turret mode. So that's pretty cool. If we go down one more level, it's just a bunch of hectic stuff, but the main thing you'll really spot is the LBIPW first gen belts. So the LBIPW Hardcore Championship, the LBIPW World Championships right over here. Yeah, a little throwback to that. So yeah, if you keep going down, it's just books and other boxes that I keep. Alright, so next up we have the couch where you can relax, and I usually do all my editing here. And if I want to watch TV from time to time, I'll watch TV. The glare's a little annoying though, but it's still pretty cool. It's the only setback I don't like about this office, but nonetheless, it's an amazing room for me. And if you see on the couch right now, I'm actually working on a project for myself. used to be a project I made in school freshman year, and now I'm putting siding on it and decorating it. I kind of took a break from it to do the 737, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty accurate to how modern architecture is today. This is a bunch of cardboard that I've been using to make the 737. Book about airplanes. What a surprise you see that inside this office. Yeah. Alright guys, next up we have this entire basket of LBIPW everything. So at the end of the video, I'm going to go over that stuff that's in there and all the cool stuff. I haven't even been through this in a really long time, so I'll even be surprised on what's in there. Other quick thing, so far this is the wall of like my favorite photos that I've ever taken. So like I said, from that C-17 that's down there, this is the same picture, but it's enlarged. And then we got this picture of a bird feeder that I got, a hummingbird feeder, about a few weeks ago. And recently I traveled to the Red Line Airport to take a look at this T6 Texan. And it's a very, very nice T6. There's two of them that fly over, that's one of them. Now we're going to look at all of this. So let's start near the bottom and we'll work our way up. So at the bottom, we have a lot of championship belts from LBIPW, many championships. So yeah, we got the New Jersey State Championship down here, an old YMCA Gaga Championship from a long time ago. The most recent hardcore championship, or I like to call it the SDPW Championship, the Southern Death Pro Wrestling Championship. It's definitely the most advanced version of any one of my belts. Same thing with this one, the LBIPW Championship. It's by far my favorite LBIPW Championship. I've actually never won this type of LBIPW Championship, unfortunately. I wish I did. But, yeah, sad, but, you know. But, over here we got the WWE Championship, whatever championship that's updated to now. But I used to call it the SDPW Championship. That was the Mark 1. That was the Mark 2, but this was the original SDPW Championship. Down here we got this LBIPW Hardcore Championship, and it used to be the LBIPW Championship before I turned it into the Hardcore. And that's actually my favorite Hardcore Championship of all time. We got my drone, if you remember the drone videos, that's a throwback. I might start doing that again, I'm not sure. And then we got the NTGB briefcase right over there. Still intact. Yeah, let's work our way on up. I'll show you guys the middle stuff, the planes. So I'm going to show you that this is all the way in the top. I have the NXT Championship, which I would also call the Hardcore Championship of LBIPW. That was like the heyday of LBIPW matches. Some of the best LBIPW matches were fought over this championship. Throwback good times. And this one is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, but I would call it the LBIPW Championship in LBIPW. I'm pretty sure I've also won this championship before. It's definitely up there with one of my favorites. But yeah, and then I have this other picture. This picture actually started it all with my airplane likings, me liking airplanes. That was the first time I've ever seen an airplane, and ever since then I was hooked on it. So yeah, now that that's all the way, we can move on to all these planes. First, we can start off with my wall of plane. So these are all the planes that have flown over my house over the course of me having the camera, or when I had my iPhone camera. So first up, we had the B-52 Stratofortress. Extremely rare. I've only seen it fly over one time. Then right next to that is the C-130 Hercules. That flies over kind of regularly. I like to see them more. Then right next to the logo, we have this guy who flies over my house. His name's Buzz. He flies a T6 Texan. It is the most beautiful T6 Texan I've ever seen. The silver, chrome, and red color scheme is amazing. After that, I do not know what type of plane this is, and there's a couple of them here that I actually do not know. Surprise, surprise. But I will figure out which one this is when I go to see whoever this is when it lands at Red Line. Then we have a 747, one of the two types of 747s that fly over my house. And then right next to that is another plane I generally do not know. I know it's from Boeing, but I'm not sure. Right next to that is the C-17 Globemaster III. By far the biggest thing that flies over here besides the extender. And then we have this stunt plane that has been flying over frequently. It actually flew over today as of recording this. Very fast little plane. And next to that is the Skyforce 10 chopper that flies over for the news. And if you look below that, we see the MH-60 Dolphin, or you'll just know it as the Coast Guard helicopter. You see them flying around from time to time. Then looking over to the left, we have a UPS freighter that came out of Philly International. Then one of my personal favorites, the KC-10 Extender. Saw one of those flying over recently. And then we have another 747 going into the trees. That was more of a freighter for McGuire. Then this one was just filmed a few days ago, the KC-135 Stratotanker. It is extremely rare, but it's not as rare as the B-52, but it's still very rare. And then come over here, pretty sure it's 737. I do not know why they fly in the McGuire. It doesn't look like a freighter or anything. It's just a bland white 737. Then over on to the right, we have another T6 Texan, the other one I was talking about. This one is named by a guy named Tom. Another beautiful T6 Texan, but does not compare to Buzz. But yeah, that is the wall of plane. Let's get on to the actual model planes. Alright, so we're going to go over the first level of airplanes, and then we'll move into the center. So this is my P-51 and P-47 gallery. It is two P-47s on the right and two P-51s on the left. These are extremely beautiful models. That was an OG model that I got a long time ago. These are relatively new, the P-47 and the P-51 in the front. P-47, that is by far one of the nicest models I have. It's a heavy striking bomber. It's a bomber and a fighter, both these planes. That one is more of a fighter than a bomber. They're probably the most notorious fighter planes in all of World War II. And if we move over here, we have our foreign aircraft section, which is all the aircraft that are not from the United States. So go back to World War II era, we have the Mitsubishi Zero. It's a Japanese aircraft. It was known to dive bomb into other ships and planes, and if it after it dropped its bombs and has no more ammo, they would tend to suicide fly kamikaze into ships or other planes. Another World War II British aircraft, the Supermarine Spitfire. This is by far the nicest model I have, but it's not my favorite model. This is, like I said, the nicest model I've ever received. It is extremely highly detailed. And then right next to that is a de Havilland Vampire, also owned by the British. I seen this Atlantic City Air Show. If you remember this from that video, it was quite an amazing aircraft. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, because this plane was amazing at the air show. But yeah, let's go to the second level. So on the second level, this is the stunt plane gallery. Nothing but stunt planes. So we have a bunch of pictures of the Blue Angels in the background, some pictures of the Blue Angels, a signed Blue Angels form, and I have many signed Blue Angels things, like right over here. That is signed by all of the 2014 Blue Angels that flew over. And yeah, there on the right, there's the picture of the Blue Angels. Like I said, that one was from the flyover over Philly. Same thing with the Thunderbirds back there. And speaking of Thunderbirds, we have a F-16 Fighting Falcon version of the Thunderbirds, the most recent adaptation. And then right over here, we have the Blue Angels mascot plane, if you say, Fat Albert, or the C-130 Hercules. And all decked out in the Blue Angel attire. And then right below that, you'll see the Hawk T-1 aircraft, but they're used by the Red Arrows, also British. I don't know whether or not to put them here or up in the foreign section, but since they're technically a stunt plane, I will include them here. Right, but also right below the Fat Albert is the Blue Angel F-18 Hornet. It is the second largest model I have. Very, very nice. It gets the detail of the Blue Angel very well. It's every nook and cranny down to the every last detail. And then directly to the left of it, we have the F4 Phantom version of the Thunderbird. This is one of my favorite models because it not only is my favorite stunt team, but it also is my favorite aircraft. So it's two for the price of one. It's absolutely beautiful. And also what I really like about it is the fact that this actually has the decoration of the bird on the bottom of the plane. The one over there does not for some reason, which is very disappointing. Alright guys, moving on to the next section in level 2, we have this, I'm going to call it the modern Air Force collection, even though some of these are retired, but they are somewhat still around today. So we have the F-14 Tomcat with its wings swept back in that position. Then on the right we have the F-4 Phantom, another F-4 Phantom. This one is an Air Force F-4 Phantom. The one over there is a Navy F-4 Phantom. Yeah, I actually like the Navy ones a lot better, but this one still looks amazing too. And there down the center we have the A-10 Thunderbolt II, or what they call it, the Warthog. One of the most badass airplanes on the planet, with its Avenger minigun on the front that rips through tanks at a ballistic rate. I'm up there with one of my favorite planes. Then on the left, right below the F-14, we have the F-101 Voodoo. This plane is kind of ancient. You don't really hear about it that much, but the design is very unique and is very beautiful. Then on the right, we have the F-15 Eagle. It's been around for a really long time because it is a very, very adaptable aircraft. It is extremely beautiful model. I really like it. And I also like how I have an eagle feather right next to it to go along with it. Then we'll go right next to the F-15 and look at the F-86 Sabre Dog. Don't get this mistaken by the Sabre. I wish I had an F-86 Sabre, but this is just about it. The difference between the F-86 Sabre Dog and the Sabre, this Dog has the little tip right there. The Sabre is more bunched in. Then over on the other side, we have the AV-8B Harrier. This one I'm guessing is owned by the United States because it has the livery logo of the United States and also belongs to the Marines. This is one of those planes that can hover off of carriers. It's one that's actually an extremely fragile model, but it is very, very nice looking nonetheless. Then coming down to the third level, this has the least amount of planes, but actually reminds me of the Chantilly, Virginia Museum. When you walk in, these are the first three planes you would see. On the left, you would see the P-40 Warhawk, and then on the right, you would see the F-4 Corsair. And then if you look down on the main floor, you would see the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest plane there ever was. And we're going to come all the way over to the right. Look at the bomber section. So I have two B-17s, one here, and there's one here. I'll get to that one in a second, because that one is one heck of a story. On the right, we have a B-29 Super Fortress, and we have a B-24 Liberator. And that also I'm going to tell you a story about. And then right down the center is the B-25 Mitchell. That is by far my favorite bomber. I just love the way it looks, the way the wings are, everything about it is beautiful. B-17 is actually made to look like 909, which is the B-17 that I got to go see a while back that unfortunately crashed a month after I got to go see it, killing everyone on board. Very unfortunate. Sorry for everyone who passed that day. And on the right, we have a B-24 Liberator. I also saw the same day I saw that plane. It flies around with that B-17. This is the B-24 Witchcraft. Has the markings of it and everything. And that one is called 909, if I haven't already said that already. Yeah, that is 909. Then finally, these are some of my favorite planes because they are the biggest, which is my cargo slash submarine destroying planes. So let's start off with the biggest aircraft I have, which is the P-2 Neptune, which is the anti-sub finder. It finds subs, blows them up. It's one of my favorite planes of all time because I've been inside this plane multiple times and it is very nice. Then these three planes right here, we fly over my house all the time. We have the C-130 Hercules, we got the C-17 Globemaster III, and we got the KC-10 Extender that is refueling an F-22 in the back, which is also a very high advanced fighter. Alright guys, so for the first thing, inside this giant box, like I said I was going to show you guys what was in it. First thing, we got the Killian Black costume from MLBPW. So you got the top part, you got the bottom part, and then we got the iconic Killian Black mask. It got a little ripped. I have no idea why. That's pretty upsetting. I might get a new one, just why not? But it's not like I'm using it for much unless it's a short film. I was planning on doing it. I got that Killian Black mask. Fun times. Then the next thing are some experimental Reaper guns that I was planning on using in a future video of LBPW if it still was around. It would have been like a part of his Reaper's entrance gear. So it's just like in the game, you would have those Reaper guns. I thought those were pretty cool. I just had to snag them, buy them for the wrestling stuff. Alright, so continuing with the Reaper, these are some of his old shin pads that he used to wear in the early days of him being the Reaper. Got rid of them because they kind of dragged him down, but then ever since he got rid of them, he's been doing significantly better. So, hey, whatever works, man. And next up inside this basket is my old jacket I would wear as Finn-Ono when I used to come out to the ring. Really comfortable jacket. I'd wear it today still. It still fits me. Might be thinking about doing like a flashback video coming up. So that'd be pretty fun to do. So I'll keep this out sometime. Yeah. Next up, we have the SDPW Price Right briefcase. Don't remember this? Well, the reason is because this never actually aired inside of an LBIPW or SDPW episode. It was experimental, and it was basically going to act as the exact same way as the Nikolai the Great briefcase, but it was just going to be for the SDPW brand until it got discontinued. So, I like the design. I wish it was still around, but yeah, this is the SDPW Price Right briefcase. And going right back to the Reaper again, we had his main attire, his jacket, cape of sorts, the shoulder pads, the cape, the little gray thing. Where is that little gray thing? It's in here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Remember that? There's little other things, decorations, stuff like that, the hood and everything. Yeah, remember the Reaper? If anyone liked the Reaper, I sure as heck did. Loved playing as him. Now here's a real gem. These are my old shin pads and knee pads that I got from, I think for the 3rd season of LBIPW or the 4th season, I am not sure. Yeah, I got the knee pads, still have the stains from the grass of the LBIPW arena and the SDPW one. We got those classic Venom shin pads, still pretty good use. If I ever wrestled again, they'd be coming pretty good in handy. Alright guys, so before I go, I just want to say one thing. It is that soon there will be a new series that will be coming out. It'll be just as frequent as LBIPW did. It's something to fill in that giant hole in this channel, because I feel like the content hasn't been as good as lately, but it will get great soon because it's going to be done. This series is going to be in the campground. It's going to be all about me and my friends' lives and doing all kinds of funny and crazy stuff. One person you will be seeing coming back is Big Man Morski from LBIPW. Since we're already good friends from the start, he's definitely going to be inside of it from now on. So yeah, look ready for that. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be coming out this Monday at 3 o'clock, so stay tuned. And yeah, so that's about it for this video. If you want to see, also if you want to see more of those plane videos, plane spotting, like you seen that one plane in the beginning of the video, then please, by all means, like this video, smack that like button, charge back your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.